Anyone who watches my channel knows that I am in peak physical condition. I am the ideal human specimen, and so that means that I am good at fighting. So we're going to rank all of the Smash characters based on how I would fare in a fight against them, but only in a hand-to-hand combat. They can use any ability that they can actually naturally use, but we're not talking about any swords or any kind of weapon or anything like that. It's got to be just what they can do with their body. So let's get some easy ones out of the way. First, let's just take Ken, let's take Ryu, let's take Terry. All three of those would smoke me because they not only can just summon magical energy projectiles out of their hands, but they're also just martial arts experts. Meanwhile, I'm a twig, so I would just get destroyed. In the same vein, Ganondorf and Incineroar and probably Captain Falcon would all kind of body me because they are just... they could just destroy me. I mean, not only can Ganondorf and Captain Falcon punch with literal fire, but Incineroar can also... he's a Pokemon. It doesn't count. It's not fair. Olimar is an easy win. Not only is he like 2 inches tall, but he doesn't actually do anything. His Pikmin do everything for him, so that is the easiest win of my life. I would also lose to Kirby, but not because he would just completely destroy me, because he's so cute that I would refuse to fight him point blank, and so I just would lose because I lost by default. I feel like Duck Hunt would be a close win on my part. He is still a dog, but that duck does do a lot, and I could probably just kick it once and be done with it, so I'd probably be fine against Duck Hunt Dog. He gets some damage in, though. Let's be real. He'd get some damage. He's probably got some claws. He's got some teeth. So he would definitely not be a easy win. Villager would also probably be an easy win because they're super tiny and everything they do uses tools. Like, the only thing they can do is boxing gloves. I'm not down with that. Ice Climbers too, they would just... anything that's like short or a kid would just be a free win in my book. Bowser and King K. Rool would just eat me. There should... honestly, you know what? There's going to be a new row. I do this every time pretty much. Wait, add row below. Not human/monster, because man, these guys would just destroy me by nature of being a totally different species than me. Same for Ridley. Ridley gets in there as well. He just... I don't want no smoke because he would destroy me. I think I'd put both Pikachu and Pichu in 50-50 because while they can summon literal electricity, Ash seems to be fine getting shocked all those years, so I feel like it wouldn't do a ton to me. And then I could just get in and just like slam them on the ground because they're so small. So that feels like a 50-50. I don't know where to put Joker because he does have Arsene. I feel like there should be two Jokers, one for with Arsene and one for without. I think I'll put it in close win because he does use daggers and guns a lot as well as Persona. So I think it'd be a close win whether or not... it just depends on if he can summon Arsene, and I don't know how I would classify that as something he can do or just like he calls on an ally. I just don't know. Young Link is a pretty tough one, and while he could do some damage to me, I feel like a lot of his damage would probably come from weapons that he's not allowed to use in this hypothetical fight that I just made up, so I think it would be a close win, but he definitely would go down swinging. Charizard goes in not human/monster because that's just not a fair fight. That's a total mismatch, and if I was against that, I would just get completely burned alive. Same with Piranha Plant. Look at those teeth, man. I don't have anything like that. I can't be compared. I can't compete with Piranha Plant's teeth. Like that's not fair. If someone makes me fight him, I'm dead. I'm dead. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong are both... I would get smoked. Monkeys have insane strength. Even Diddy Kong, who's much smaller, he would just absolutely destroy me. But Fox and Falco are interesting because, like, do you include the fact that they have metal legs as part of their body now? Because otherwise they would just, like, be on the ground very unable to move if you didn't count that. So I feel like you kind of have to count that to even give them a fighting chance. So I'm going to put them in I'd get smoked as well. One kick and I feel like my skull would just get crushed. All of the heroes, I don't know why I have all four here by the way, but all of the heroes I think would be close losses because without their weapons, they do a considerably less amount of damage, but they still have all of their magical abilities that they can do. So things like their fireball, I don't know the names, okay? Don't sue me. They could insta-kill me with whack. Actually, I feel like that would be more of an I'd get smoked. But I guess I'll just put them in close loss for now. I don't know where they would truly end up. Chrom and Lucina would definitely give me the smoke as well. They just seem like they are good fighters even without their swords, although they definitely lean on their swords more than their fists. And I guess Marth probably too, although I feel like he'd be reluctant to even fight me in the first place. So maybe that would be a close loss, but I think if it was truly like, okay, we have to fight, then Marth would just beat me. Wolf and Wii Fit are both ones that would smoke me as well. Wii Fit is just truly the peak physical condition, and like I would never want to fight a real life wolf, much less one that is sentient and actually has like a true thought process and a logical brain. Like normal wolves, they're just feral, they'll destroy you. Add a brain into that, and my goodness, I would absolutely lose at least one appendage. The Pokemon trainer himself would probably be an easy win because he's supposed to be like 10 or something. Look, I can only take on kids and very small animals is what I'm quickly learning from this tier list. And speaking of kids, I definitely lose to both Ness and Lucas because while they can't use sticks and rope snakes, they still have literal magical abilities that would just burn me and freeze me alive. So not gonna fight him, or them, I mean, I don't know why I said him. But speaking of a him, Mr. Game & Watch, I would think would be an easy win. My man's is just a piece of paper. One real hit, and I feel like he'd crumple. In a scenario where the Toads somehow allow both Peach and Daisy to truly fight and not, like, get defended right away, I think it would be a close win. I'm not entirely sure, but they can't pull turnips, they can't yank out Toad to counter, so I feel like I would beat them in a fight. But it would be a close win. It would be close because like they could do some damage. Half their moves are just like them hitting you with their butt. So they definitely would do some damage, but I could probably beat them in the end. Palutena is a goddess, so she absolutely would smoke me. Ike is another one that I missed that is peak physical condition. He would destroy me. Oh, Little Mac too. My lord, there's so many. They're just like big muscly dudes that would absolutely just like step on my throat and kill me. I'm honestly not too sure how good Pit and Dark Pit are at fighting without using a weapon because their whole moveset and everything they use pretty much comes from their swords and their bows. So I think I'd put it maybe 50-50 because I just don't know how it would turn out. Rosalina, I think, would be a close loss because despite not having Luma and everything like her wand, she's still huge and she would like Hulk over me, so she would probably beat me. But I think I'd get some good licks in there here and there. Cloud would absolutely smoke me, and now I'm confused about Megaman. I just looked at Megaman and I realized what counts as his body and what counts as a power-up. I think it would be a smoke. I think he would smoke me. Like, thinking he has his pellets, he has his charge up smash attack. Like, he is a robot that is his body. So I think even if we just look at his base abilities without his upgrades, I would just get like launched away constantly. And then I would just, I would die. Rob would be an easy win because he's actually just a toy that's like 1 foot tall. He is not a threat at all. And honestly, you could probably just pour some water on him and his like circuits would short out and he would just be donezo. So Rob, easy win. Jigglypuff is a 50-50 because if she used Sing, I would fall asleep and then she would just write on me with marker and go away. So I feel like we wouldn't even fight. She would just get mad and then draw a mustache and maybe a wiener on my face and then leave. So I guess that's 50-50 just because I don't know that a fight would even happen. I don't want any smoke from Banjo-Kazooie. You guys ever seen the size of a real bear? My man would absolutely claw my face off. Jun Link is a tiny kid, and while he is tough, he's another one carried by weapons, so I think that would be an easy win. I would say that Young Link is slightly taller and slightly more tough than Toon Link. So Toon Link goes an easy win while Young Link goes in close win. But normal Link, he's an actual adult-ish. He's adult size, so I think that would be 50-50. I could see either of us winning, but I mean, look at his face. He definitely is ready to fight. Young Link is too, but Young Link doesn't have the height behind it, and you know, Toon Link is just a cartoon, so I think that is the appropriate place for each different Link. See, Bayonet is an interesting one because she couldn't use her guns, but she could use her Wicked Wheeze because I feel like that's just part of her, so that would be another one that smokes me. I'm slowly learning that I would not stand a chance against most of these fighters. King Dedede is another monster. It's not fair. He would just suck me up and then, you know, hit me with a hammer. It definitely I get smoked, but I'd get smoked because he's not a human / is a monster. Easy win for Yoshi. He committed tax fraud, so he's actually just in a federal penitentiary, so I don't even have to fight him. I would just have to laugh at him behind his bars tax fraud Yoshi. I feel like realistically, Wario's fart doesn't actually work in a real scenario. I don't know like how his fart deals so much damage. And without his bike, I don't know that he has a ton of options. So I think it would be a close win, honestly, against Wario. Not only that, but he isn't really the fastest and most agile. So I feel like I could probably just play the long game with him and not have to work. Like, after 5 minutes, he'd probably be too tired and I would just win. But his mouth is gigantic, so, you know, he probably could get some licks in or some bites in. You know, his tongue is in that area too. So close win, I would say, for Wario, but he definitely would hurt me a little bit. Snake would just up tilt me and I would die immediately. And Zero Suit Samus would just, I couldn't handle her. But speaking of the Samuses, this is a tough one because Samus uses armor. So I feel like it would still, I'd get smoked, but only because she would have to just do what she could do as Zero Suit Samus. Dark Samus also would smoke me, but I think those are like part of their biology because Dark Samus like scanned the Samus inside and the suit and got her abilities and her missiles and stuff. So I think those are supposed to be part of her because they're generated from whatever the alien symbiote thing is and not just a suit. Roy, I think, would be 50-50 without his sword. Oh, that's close loss. 50-50 because, I mean, he is still a kid and he is pretty muscular, but he is still a kid, so I don't know that I think I would fare an okay amount against Roy. Squirtle would be an easy win, although I feel like it'd actually be an easy loss because I don't want to fight him. But if I had to, Squirtle's just a small turtle. I could definitely just pick him up and he would not be able to do anything, you know? Like, you could just grab him by his shell and his legs would just start moving and he couldn't move at all. Ivysaur, on the other hand, probably be a close loss. It is on the small side, but it's got Razor Leaf and Solar Beam and Vine Whip and all this different stuff. I know it doesn't have Solar Beam in Smash, but as a Pokemon, it could just do a ton to me. So I think I would lose to Ivysaur. Isabelle is even less of a threat than Duck Hunt is because she just doesn't really feel like she would attack or use her claws or whatever, and everything else she uses is an item that she has to use, so I think Isabelle would be an easy win. Zelda's got all kinds of magic, so she would smoke me. Simon and Richter are both super muscular, so even without all of their magic, they could still just destroy me. I mean, not magic, but you know, like their holy water and their whip and their axes. They're still just so much bigger than me, I would just lose. Lucario and Greninja are also monster type things that would just destroy me, so I admit that I would lose, but it's more because they just have fantastical abilities. Meta Knight is literally just Kirby with a sword, and I feel like I would be okay with fighting Meta Knight, so I'm gonna put him in easy win because without his sword, I don't know that he can do very much besides like his tornado. So I think that would be a kind of easy win. Inkling, I think, would be an easy win too because they use nothing but weapons. So I don't know that they could do anything to me that would hurt. But Corrin would definitely destroy me. I mean, he is half dragon. He could just turn into whole dragon and just eat me. Without cannonballs and Mecha Koopas, I don't know that Bowser Jr. or the Koopalings would do a ton to me. I don't know. They don't breathe big streams of fire. It's just more small fireballs. So once you get out of the way of those, I feel like they aren't much of a threat. I'll put them in close win because they could still definitely do some damage with claws and spikes. But I think on their own, without any kind of like power up or anything, I don't know that I would really lose too bad to them. Me Gunner and Me Sword Fighter both would, I think, be easy wins unless they become Me Brawler without their gun or their sword. But I think they would probably be easy wins. Me Brawler, though, would definitely be a close loss because we have to be hand-to-hand in this. So I think he would beat me because he could do some pretty crazy stuff that I could never do. But I think I could definitely deal some percent to him, so close loss for that, and then easy win for the other two Miis. I feel like Robin is just a dude without his sword and his magic, so I'm gonna put close win there too. I feel like the Mario Brothers would be a close loss because with Mario and Dr. Mario, without their capes, all they really have is, you know, their agility and their fireballs, but they still have to. I feel like they still have to get close to me. So I think they would beat me, but it would be close. Luigi, on the other hand, if he gets one misfire, I am donezo. I'm in the blast zone. One of my stock heads disappeared. I think I would be done if Luigi misfired me or used his sweet spot up B for that matter. So I think, ironically, Luigi actually is stronger without the different items that Mario can use. All right, we're down to the last 5. Mewtwo is not a human / a monster, so he would absolutely destroy me. Sonic would be so fast, I feel like it would be like the Flash. He could just like punch me through the heart and I wouldn't realize it because he just went so fast. Pac-Man, I think I would win because, I don't know, the only thing he could do is eat me, right? He can only eat me without his hydrant and his fruits and his, key. So I think that would be a close win, maybe, unless I'm not thinking of something. If he went Super Pac-Man and he was like his final smash, I would get eaten in a heartbeat. But I think at this size, I could avoid getting eaten well enough to not lose. What am I talking about? This is crazy. Sheik is way too good, so I would definitely get smoked. And Shulk, I am torn on. I think maybe Shulk would be a 50-50 because he absolutely probably has some kind of good hand-to-hand combat, but he's definitely carried by the Monado, which I presume he would not be allowed to use. So I think I'll put him in 50-50. That feels right to me. And there we go. There is my matchup tier list against everyone in Smash, assuming that they have to fight me hand-to-hand without any weapons or anything. This was actually far more fun than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a quick video, but actually thinking about how they would fight based on just what they can do with, their 2 hands and their 2 feet, that actually added a pretty fun aspect to this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if it made you laugh or anything, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you think your matchup would be against different characters, or if I just completely got something wrong and I didn't think of something, let me know what you think as well. Anything and everything, let me know, because this is just such a silly video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Have an awesome day.